Assalamu alaikum students, this is Ayesha Azhar and you are watching my channel O Level Islamiat by Ayesha Azhar. Today we will going to do a very important topic, that is Hazrat Ali, which is one of the caliphs, and Hazrat Ali is in fourth number. He was the last caliph. As you know that caliphs are the very important topic of paper 2, and paper 1 question is mandatory set in paper 2. It can be 2 question even, but one question has to be set in paper 2. It can be question number 3 or 4 accordingly. So let's begin with Hazrat Ali. Hazrat Ali, I have observed that many students find Hazrat Ali a very difficult topic because there is some confusion, especially in Battle of Siffin, and which led to the emergence of Kharjis. So we will do every event of his caliphate in detail. So I am giving you overview plus detail of Hazrat Ali, and we'll begin with the election of Hazrat Ali. One thing I want to mention over here, that in caliphates you are supposed to mention AD and AH dates both, because it will help you to achieve better grades. So now let's start with the election. As you know that after the assassination of Hazrat Usman, or martyrdom of Hazrat Usman, there was a chaos and confusion in the region because there was no government for 3 days. Over here I've written election. So how he was elected? So after assassination of Hazrat Usman, Medina was without any government for 3 days, and the rebels virtually controlled the capital, and they wanted to elect a new caliph. That's why the Egyptians and the prominent companions went to Hazrat Ali to accept caliphate, but he declined the offer. He refused because he knew at that time that it's a very big responsibility, and he did not want to hold this responsibility. So the rebels then offered this assumption of Khilafat to Hazrat Talha and Zubair, and they refused to, because they thought that if Hazrat Ali is there, so no one is deserve to be a caliph. So rebels then requested the Ansars, and they also declined the offer by saying that in the presence of Hazrat Ali, no one else deserved to be a caliph, and that was understood because they wanted that a caliph should be near to Prophet ﷺ, caliph should be a brave one, and you know that Hazrat Ali was living with Prophet ﷺ from his childhood, and he was very much nearer and dearer to Prophet ﷺ. And as far as bravery is concerned, all of you know that he was very brave. So the rebels then gave ultimatum that if they'll not choose a caliph within 24 hours, people of Medina has to face drastic consequences. So that's why again people went to Hazrat Ali, and they requested him to accept caliphate. So on 25th of Zilhaj 35/8 656 AD, there was a general bath, and the Prophet at the Prophet mosque, and Hazrat Ali thus became the fourth Khalifa of Islam. So that's how he was elected as a caliph. But before assuming official office, since you know that during the time of Osman there was the issue of the governors. So Hazrat Ali thought that before assuming official office, he should change the governors in order to maintain the peace of the region. So he changed the governors in Egypt, Yemen, Basra, and these areas. But okay, now coming to his main events. So as you know that during the caliphate of Hazrat Usman, there was an allegation and there was issue of governors. That Hazrat Usman was released, that he appointed his family members as governors of different regions or provinces. So Hazrat Ali, before assuming official office, he thought to change the governors first in order to maintain the peace. Many of his companions were against this decision, because they suggested him that before assuming official office, you should not change the governors. But he was of the view that I should first maintain the peace of the regions. That's why he changed the governor of Kufa, Basra, Yemen, Egypt, and Syria. But unfortunately, Syria's governor and governor refused to depose of their place. All right, so their position. So basically he appointed Suhail bin Hanif as the governor of Syria in place of Amir Muawiyah. And over here, why I have highlighted these two, because these two refused to be a caliph, whereas in Syria there was a serious agitation and a serious opposition which Hazrat Ali faced because of Muawiyah. Then he appointed Umara bin Shabab as the governor of Kufa. He appointed Saad bin Ubaidah as the governor of Egypt. He appointed Abdullah bin Abbas as the governor of Yemen, and appointed Usman bin Hanif as the governor of Basra. But the governors of Kufa and Syria refused to give charge to the new governors, as they were not willing to, leave their position. But as far as Muawiyah is concerned, who was the governor of Syria, he also refused to accept Hazrat Ali as a caliph. Now there is also a question of 4 marks in your past paper, that why Hazrat Ali refused refused to accept Hazrat Ali as a caliph. Now there were some reasons why he refused. Number one, there was a tribal rivalry between them, because Hazrat Ali belonged to Banu Hashim tribe and Amir Muawiyah belonged to Banu Umayyah tribe, and there was always a rivalry between them. Then there was, the Hazrat Ali was not punishing the assassin of Hazrat Usman, so he just said, okay, since he is not punishing the assassin of Hazrat Usman, so he is against them. Although Hazrat Ali was actually waiting for the right time, he was gathering some proofs in order to, punish the assassin, because there was probably a mob and all of them were not the main culprits or the criminals. So the thing is that he was waiting for the right time and he was gathering the proofs, but for that he needs some time. So when before that, definitely he had to maintain the peace in the region, and he just thought to change the governors. And Muawiyah's position in Syria was very strong, because he also had his own army in Syria, so nobody even allowed to enter in Syria, and that person was sent back, that that Muawiyah is not accepting Hazrat Ali as a caliph. Now these were the main events which we will going to do in detail. Because of these reasons, there were different battles held. One of them was Battle of Camel, which was the first civil war, and most prominent companions were for against each other. That is, as Aisha, Talha and Zubair fought against Hazrat Ali. And the reason of Battle of Camel was that Hazrat Ali was not punishing the murderer of Hazrat Usman. You know that already Muawiyah was raising this cry, he was protesting, and even Talha and Zubair went to Hazrat Aisha and discussed the same thing, that he is not punishing the assassin. Hazrat Aisha agreed, and they said to Hazrat Ali that he should first punish the assassin, and Hazrat Ali was of the same view, कि I will going to punish the assassin, but I need some time. So for that reason, when Hazrat Ali was informed that they are preparing an army against Hazrat Ali, so he sent his son Imam Hassan or Hazrat Hassan to Kufa, from where he was successful in raising an army of 10,000 men. Now why Hazrat Ali sent Hazrat Hassan to Kufa? In order to negotiate. So the two armies met near Basra in 656 AD, 36 AH. So Hazrat Ali did not wish to fight. Even Hazrat Aisha also wanted to prevent bloodshed and agreed to negotiate. However, the mischief makers from the both armies got alarmed at the negotiation. Why? Because this negotiation led to the doom of their, all conspiracies or Sara Kujo, whatever they have planned against Muslims community, will definitely be nowhere then. So during the night, there were attacks on the forces of both sides, and the battle started. This means that there was an attack from both sides. That these mischief makers attacked suddenly on the both armies, and both armies thought that it was attacked. For instance, Hazrat Ali's army thought that it was attack from Hazrat Aisha or Hazrat Talha Zubair's army, and Hazrat Talha Zubair and Hazrat Aisha's army thought that it was attack from Hazrat Ali's side. That's how the battle was started. So Hazrat Aisha was mounted on a camel and led the army. So in this fierce battle, thousands of Muslims were killed, and even Hazrat Aisha's camel was wounded. And then Hazrat Aisha and Hazrat Ali won the battle, and Hazrat Aisha was sent back to Medina respectfully. And during this battle, Hazrat Talha and Zubair were also killed. So this battle proved to be very dangerous, and developed disunity among the Muslims. Because of this unity and first civil war, there was a bloodshed, and because of this bloodshed, Talha and Zubair were killed. Because of this bloodshed, Hazrat Aisha promised that she will not going to take any part in any of the political activities. So after this battle, what Hazrat Ali did, that he appointed a new governor for Basra and moved his headquarters to Kufa, where his support was strongest. So this was the Battle of Camel. And why this battle was known as the Battle of Camel? Because Hazrat Aisha led this battle by mounting on her camel. Okay. Now after this battle, there was a battle of Siffin, which is a very important one, and students got confused, and they are confused that how Kharjis were emerged, who were Kharjis, Kharjis hain kaun. So you have to be very clear about the concepts of Kharjis and the battle of Siffin. Now, why Battle of Siffin was fought? I have already discussed the reason. Number one was Amir Muawiyah did not want to depose of his post, but he took edge of the martyrdom of Hazrat Usman and protested against the assassin of Hazrat Usman and Hazrat Ali, that Hazrat Ali is not punishing the assassin of Hazrat Usman. And at that time, he was not saying that he did not want to depose of his place. This is the point. But he was of the view that he should punish the assassin first and then change the governors. This was the issue. But basically, these were the issues which we have already discussed. That tribal rivalry, he did not want to leave his position as a governor in Syria, and then of course assassin of Hazrat Usman should be punished. So the battle was started, and now during this battle, Hazrat Ali was initially Hazrat Ali was winning this battle, and in this battle was fought in 37 AH 657 AD. In this battle, Hazrat Ali arranged an army of 80,000 to 90,000 men. Over here, probably I have not written, I forgot to write, but you can note it down that Hazrat Ali arranged 80,000 to 90,000 of an army. All right. So since initially he was winning the battle, Amr bin As was the one who said that he wanted an arbitration, and he suggested all the people of his army to tie Quran on their lances. Lances kya hote hain? They are the weapons. So, all right. So when Hazrat Ali came to know about this, so he asked his men that not to stop the battle because it's a trick. So nobody listened to him and they stopped. So the Battle of Siffin gave the birth to the secession movement among the men who had originally supported Hazrat Ali in the Battle of Siffin. These men came to be known as Kharjis, the separatists or other outgoers, because they separate themselves from Hazrat Ali in the Battle of Siffin, and later on, which we will discuss it. So they condemned both Hazrat Ali and Muawiyah and said that they believe was in La Hukma La ilaha illallah. That means that no rulership except by Allah alone. So they were the people who had originally insisted on cessation of fighting at Siffin. So up definitely the battle was stopped because nobody was willing to have battle at that time, although Hazrat Ali suggested and told them not to stop because it was a trap, it was a trick, but nobody listened at that time. So the end decision was that arbitration will going to take place. So after the cessation of hostilities at Siffin, it was decided that the matter be referred to arbitration. So in what is an arbitration? Arbitration is decision taken by the people and according to Hadith and Quran. So Abu Musa Ash'ari was appointed on the behalf of Hazrat Ali, whereas Amr bin As was appointed on behalf of Amir Muawiyah. So they were going to represent the both parties. They were to settle the dispute according to the Quran and Hadith, and this agreement was signed by Hazrat Ali along with Amir Muawiyah. And then after signing this agreement, Hazrat Ali left Siffin for Kufa, and on the way to Kufa, now the same Kharjis who disobeyed Hazrat Ali and asked that we will not going to fight now. So that time these Kharjis asked Hazrat Ali to attack to Syrians. Now at that time Hazrat Ali could not fought against Syrians. Why? Because he had already signed the treaty over here in Siffin, in which they agreed that there will be arbitration according to Quran and Hadith, and the decision has to be obeyed by both parties. So the Khalifa refused to attack as he could not break the agreement signed by him. So when they arrived near Kufa, a large number of men separated and marched towards Harwara. Now these were the Kharjis, where they formed a party and started their activities against Hazrat Ali. Now they started activities against Hazrat Ali, and in accordance with the arbitration agreement signed between Hazrat Ali, Muawiyah and Abu Musa, Hazrat Ali and Muawiyah, Abu Musa and Amr bin As met at Dumatul Jandal. Dumatul Jandal was a place between Kufa and Damascus where the arbitration's decision took place. Alright, this place is very important. You have to mention this place. In the meanwhile, on the other hand, Kharjis were conspirating against Hazrat Ali, and in the same time, Dumatul Jandal mein arbitration was going on. And when the time for making announcement came, Abu Musa Ashari said that announced that after consulting Amr bin As, they had decided that both Hazrat Ali and Muawiyah should be deposed from their post, and people should be given right to elect their Khalifa. Now Amr bin As ने यहीं पर ही twist लिया, and Amr bin As said that he agreed with what Abu Musa said, that he himself decided, but he himself decided that Amir Muawiyah should retain to his post, only Hazrat Ali should be deposed of. Now, according to this agreement, Hazrat Ali had to accept the decision, because the agreement was that he will going to obey the decision, whatever will going to be decided in arbitration. That is according to Quran and Hadith. But this decision was one-sided, and Hazrat Ali left with one position option, and that was to fight against Muawiyah, because he resigned from his position in order to accept the decision of arbitration. Then, since it was one-sided, so he was left with no option except have a battle with Amir Muawiyah. Now the peace conference broke up, and the Kharjis were deeply upset with the disaster outcome of arbitration. Now Kharjis were of the view, they were opposed to the idea of arbitration, and then they were argued that no judgment but God, by which they meant that as the Caliph Hazrat Ali should not have agreed to the arbitration and compromised his authority. Now that means that they were saying कि जी हज़रत अली को should not deposed of his position, he should not resign. अब हज़रत अली की तो position became very weak. Initially, these people refused to obey Hazrat Ali's order, and they stopped the fighting at Siffin. Now they are saying कि why Hazrat Ali accepted the decision, because Hazrat Ali had left with no option at that time. Ab over here in March 658, Hazrat Ali was determined once again to lead an army of Kufa and Basra to settle the dispute of Muawiyah usurpation of power. He persuaded the Kharjis to join him and was successful in gaining 2000 Kharjis back. How he persuaded them? By convincing them that he was not alone responsible for this situation, since he already told them in the Siffin not to stop the battle, as it was a trick. So some of them agreed, and 2000 of the Kharjis rejoined Hazrat Ali's army. So the battle of Nahrawan against Kharjis took place. So the other Kharjis became more militant with these moderates. Who were the moderates? Who were actually joined Kharjis, and they were of the view in the middle way, कि they were not as much against Hazrat Ali, but they were not in the favor of Hazrat Ali as well. But some other who was very extremist sort of Kharjis, they were more militant, and they were well equipped, so they sending raiding parties and battling anyone who disagreed with their position. तो जब हज़रत अली को ये पता चला, when he decided to deal with this situation first, because they were creating problems for हज़रत अली, कि जो भी हज़रत अली को support करेगा, they will going to have battle with them, they will going to have fight with them. So हज़रत अली has to deal with this problem. So in the mid of May or July 658 AD, the two parties clashed at Nahrawan, and Hazrat Ali armies was 10 times the size of Kharjis, and who were defeated by Hazrat Ali, and many of them were killed in this battle. So many of the Kharjis were killed in this battle, and after this battle Hazrat Ali had to fight against Amir Muawiyah, as I have discussed earlier, because since he was left with no option, which we have already done over here. यहाँ पर हमने already discuss किया कि after his resignation he had left with one option, that was to have battle with Muawiyah, because that decision was one-sided. All right. So then he asked, after the battle of Nahrawan, to his people to have another battle against Muawiyah. Now his people refused to obey Hazrat Ali. Why? Because they have had enough, because there was a bloodshed and they saw that their own Muslim brothers were killing in the battles, so they refused to fought against even Muawiyah. So Muawiyah took incentive, and you may say incentive of this position, and he asked Amr bin As to attack in Egypt or invade Egypt. So Hazrat Ali's position became more weak as a caliph. So after the invasion, there was a peace treaty signed between Muawiyah and Hazrat Ali, in which Muawiyah was given Syria along with Egypt. All right, so this was how Egypt and Syria came under Amir Muawiyah's control. And in one after this event, Hazrat Ali was leading a prayer, and he was attacked by Ibn Muljim. Over here I have not written, but I am explaining over here that he was attacked by Ibn Muljim, and because of that attack, in 19 Ramzan he was attacked, and in 21st Ramzan he was martyred. And Ibn Muljim was the one who was one of the Kharjis and took revenge of the battle of Nahrawan and martyred Hazrat Ali. So students, this is all about Hazrat Ali. I hope the main mistakes or unclarity about Kharjits or the battle of Siffin is clear now. If you have any problem regarding especially Hazrat Ali, you can write it in the comment section. Please write down the comments. If you did not understand anything, I will try to make this topic more easy, maybe in a later lecture if you want to. So give your feedback about this lecture, and keep watching my channel, subscribe my channel, don't forget to like it and press bell icon button so that you will be notified whenever I upload the new video. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.